Hi, my friend. Welcome back to English in Ease. I'm Emily, your guide, your cheerleader, and sometimes the tiny voice in your ear reminding you to breathe before that next sentence. Today, we're embarking on a 3-chapter journey about speaking English clearly and confidently, and I promise every step will feel like a calm conversation over coffee, not a stressful pop quiz. Setting the scene. Picture this. It's a humid Thursday evening in Bangkok. You've ducked into a cozy cafe, steamy glasses fogging the window while scooter horns buzz outside. You order in English. 1 iced Americano, please. And the barista tilts her head, asks you to repeat, and then smiles politely but still looks confused. Your grammar is flawless. Your vocabulary? Impressive. Yet something in the sound waves between your mouth and her ears gets tangled. You walk to your seat, coffee in hand, heart sinking a little. I've been there. So have thousands of learners I coach. And that small moment, that micro miscommunication, can undermine your self-efficacy, the psychological term for belief in your own ability. Our goal in this series is to strengthen both your articulation muscles and your mindset so those moments become rare and eventually insignificant. Why clarity and confidence work together. Clarity is the physical side of speech, crisp consonants, resonant vowels, steady intonation. Confidence is the emotional current underneath. Posture, eye contact, volume, willingness to keep talking even after a slip. Think of clarity as the camera lens and confidence as the light source. A pristine lens without light shows nothing. Dazzling light without focus blurs everything. You need both for the listener to receive the full picture. Academic research backs this up. Studies in applied linguistics show that listeners judge a speaker's competence less by grammatical precision than by intelligibility and vocal assurance. In other words, you can drop an article or mix up a tense and still sound proficient if your words are audible, rhythmic, and delivered with conviction. The silent obstacles nobody warns you about. Before we talk solutions, let's name the dragons we'll slay together: phonological gaps. Some English sounds simply don't exist in your native phonetic inventory. Think of ha, ta, in think, or the contrast between r and l. Your tongue looks for a familiar parking spot and can't find one. Mumbling and minimal mouth movement, I call this the ventriloquist syndrome. Lips barely part, jaw stays lazy, and syllables collide like cars in rush hour traffic. The result is acoustic fog, velocity without control. Because you want to appear fluent, you accelerate. But speed magnifies every microscopic misplacement of the tongue, clarity drops, and paradoxically, you sound less fluent. Cognitive overload. Translating from L1 to English in real time is like juggling flaming torches while riding a unicycle. The brain's working memory fills up, pronunciation gets sloppy, and confidence evaporates. Fear of judgment. This is the psychological heavyweight. One raised eyebrow from a native speaker can replay in your mind for days, making you whisper or withdraw next time. If any of those feel painfully familiar, breathe out. You're in the right place. The next 2 parts of this episode will give you concrete, research-based tools to dismantle each barrier. A quick story to anchor the lesson. Let me introduce Min, a Vietnamese software engineer who joined my online coaching group last year. During meetings with European clients, Min's code explanations were brilliant, yet he noticed colleagues leaning forward, brows furrowed. They kept asking, "Could you repeat that?" Min assumed his technical vocabulary was lacking, but after we reviewed a recording, the issue was phonological. His S and S slid together, and his sentence endings dropped into a murmur. Once Min practiced targeted articulation drills and adopted what I call the 2-second pause, a mindful inhalation before responding, comprehension skyrocketed. His confidence followed. Next quarter, he led the demo without a hitch. I share Min's story because it illustrates a pattern you'll likely experience. Improve clarity a little, and confidence grows. Higher confidence lets you focus on better clarity. It's a virtuous loop. Your first micro assignment. Before you hit play on part 2, try this. Record a 60-second voice memo about your favorite food. Don't script it. Then play it back with a critical ear. Mark 3 places where a word sounds blurred or a pause feels awkward. This diagnostic awareness primes you for the techniques we'll practice soon. In the next chapter, we'll tackle pronunciation head-on. We'll dissect the mechanics of troublesome phonemes, employ shadowing methodology, and even use tongue twisters as neuromuscular training. You'll learn why slowing your tempo by just 10% can raise intelligibility by 30%, according to a University of Cambridge study. And of course, we'll weave motivation strategies so you won't abandon the practice after a week. Grab your notebook, maybe another iced Americano, and meet me there. Remember, you and I are a team. Your progress is my passion. See you in part 2. Welcome back, my friend. Emily here, and I'm so glad you're continuing this journey with me. If you're here, it means you're serious about improving how you sound in English, and not just sounding good, but sounding clear, confident, and natural. In part 1, we laid the foundation. We talked about why clarity and confidence go hand in hand, and we identified some common obstacles that many English learners face. Now, let's dig deeper into practical tools, especially pronunciation, because if your words aren't heard clearly, your message gets lost, no matter how smart or fluent you are. Let's talk sound science, understanding pronunciation. Pronunciation isn't about having an American or British accent. It's about being intelligible. That is, can your listener understand what you're saying without extra effort? This is where phonemes come in. Phonemes are the smallest units of sound in a language, and English has several that don't exist in many other languages. Let's go through a few that I know can cause trouble. T, as in think. This is a voiceless dental fricative. Sounds fancy, right? It just means you gently place your tongue between your teeth and blow air. Most learners replace it with T or S, which makes think sound like sink. /R/ and /L/. In many East Asian languages, these two aren't distinct sounds. In English, they matter. A lot. Right and light are completely different words, and mispronouncing them can confuse your listener. Word endings. Many learners drop final sounds. For example, cold becomes coal. That missing /D can change meaning entirely. So what can you do to improve? Technique 1. Shadowing. This is one of my favorite exercises, and it's incredibly powerful. Shadowing means listening to a native speaker and immediately repeating exactly what they say, copying their rhythm, intonation, pronunciation, even their emotion. It's like being their echo. Here's how to do it. Choose a short clip, around 10 to 20 seconds, from a podcast, YouTube video, or even a movie scene. Make sure the speaker is clear and natural. Play one sentence. Pause. Repeat it out loud, imitating everything: pitch, emotion, speed. Do this 2 or 3 times, then play the whole clip again and shadow it from beginning to end without pausing. What's happening here is you're training your mouth muscles to move in new ways. Just like learning to play piano, your fingers don't know what to do until you repeat a pattern dozens of times. The same is true for your tongue, lips, and vocal cords. Start slow. You don't need to sound perfect. You just need to keep practicing. Consistency beats perfection. Technique 2. Record and reflect. This one might feel a little awkward at first, but it's a game changer. Choose a topic. Maybe my favorite weekend activity. Record yourself speaking for 1 minute in English. Then play it back. Ask yourself, are all my words clear? Do I drop final sounds? Am I speaking too fast? Do I sound confident or hesitant? Compare your voice with a native speaker's version of similar content. Where do the differences show up? This isn't about criticizing yourself, it's about becoming aware, and awareness leads to improvement. I have a student named Layla who used this method every day for a month. She hated the sound of her voice at first, but over time, she started noticing patterns. She wasn't finishing her words, she rushed through longer sentences, and she mumbled when she wasn't sure of the word. With that knowledge, she fixed those habits, one by one. Technique 3. Tongue twisters. Yes, they sound silly, but they work. Tongue twisters are excellent for articulatory precision. Basically, they force your mouth to pronounce every single sound clearly and quickly. Try saying, "She sells seashells by the seashore." "Red lorry, yellow lorry." The 33 thieves thought they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. You'll mess up. That's the point. You're stretching the muscles of your mouth, just like yoga for your voice. Do one of these for 2 minutes each morning. You'll notice a big change in how flexible and clear your speech becomes. Technique 4. Slow down. On purpose. Let me tell you a secret. Fluency isn't speed, it's flow. Many learners think, if I speak fast, I'll sound fluent. But what happens is, pronunciation drops, grammar slips, and clarity disappears. Try this instead. Pause briefly at punctuation points. Breathe before long sentences. Focus on finishing every word, especially word endings. I tell my students to aim for a confident slow. It feels powerful because it is. Politicians, TED speakers, even English teachers like me, we speak slowly on purpose, not because we're unsure, but because it's easier to understand, and it gives listeners time to process. Technique 5. Open your mouth. This might sound simple, but many pronunciation issues come from lazy articulation. If you barely open your mouth when you speak, your vowels get squished and your consonants lose clarity. Try this little challenge. Stand in front of a mirror and say this sentence slowly and clearly. Every day I speak more clearly and confidently in English. Now say it again, but this time exaggerate the mouth movements. Feel your jaw, lips, and tongue fully shape each sound. That kind of exaggeration during practice helps you build muscle memory. Later, when you're in a real conversation, your mouth will know what to do without you overthinking it. Bonus. Focus on word stress and intonation. English is a stress-timed language, which means some syllables are longer and louder than others. Getting this right makes your speech sound natural. Example, I want to go to the cinema tonight. If you stress the wrong words, like to or the, you sound robotic or unnatural. Listen to native speakers. Notice how they rise and fall in pitch. It's almost like singing. Practice mimicking that melody. It makes your speech easier to follow and more engaging to listen to. Real-life example. From monotone to melody, let's go back to Min. Once his pronunciation improved, we started working on intonation and stress patterns. I gave him simple dialogues to practice, like, "Hey, how was your weekend?" "It was great. I went hiking with my friends." We worked on rising tone for questions, falling tone for statements, and expressive emotion for storytelling. It felt awkward at first, like acting. But after a few weeks, his English sounded natural, even vibrant. His coworkers noticed. He started leading meetings with more ease. Your next challenge. Here's your task before we meet in part 3. Pick one shadowing video. Just 30 seconds. Practice it 3 times a day for 2 days. Record yourself saying a tongue twister. Then say it again, more clearly. Try speaking for 60 seconds about your favorite childhood memory. Listen back. Reflect. These small actions stack up. They build rhythm. They build control. They build confidence. And speaking of confidence, that's our next chapter. Because pronunciation gives you clarity, but confidence gives you power. In part 3, we'll dive into the emotional side of speaking, overcoming fear, finding your voice, and learning to speak English boldly, even when you make mistakes. You're doing amazing so far. Let's keep going. Welcome back to English in Ease. It's Emily again. And in this final part of our journey together, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful tools in your English learning toolbox, confidence. So far, you've learned how clarity works, how pronunciation, rhythm, and speaking with intention can transform the way people understand you. But now, we need to go deeper. Not into your mouth, but into your mind. Because here's the truth. Even if you have excellent pronunciation, if you don't believe in your ability to speak, your voice will shrink. Your words will hesitate. And that hesitation? It's like a whisper in your listener's ear that says, "I'm not sure you should take me seriously." Let's change that. Why confidence changes everything. Confidence is not about speaking perfect English. It's about being willing to speak imperfect English and doing it anyway. When you speak with confidence, people focus on your message. They pay attention. They lean in. That's not a guess. That's proven in communication psychology. Confidence boosts perceived competence, even when the message contains small errors. Think about public speakers you admire. Do they pause? Sometimes. Do they make small mistakes? Sure. But do they own their voice? Always. That's what makes them compelling. Now, how do you get there? How do you feel less afraid, more comfortable, and eventually even excited to speak English out loud? Let's build that step by step. Strategy 1. Speak every day, even if no one is listening. The number one way to build confidence is through consistency. Think of confidence like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Even 5 minutes a day can change your relationship with English. You can talk to yourself while doing dishes. Narrate your actions like, "Now I'm brushing my teeth. After this, I'll make coffee." Practice introducing yourself to an imaginary person. "Hi, I'm Emily. I teach English through stories and conversations." The key here is repetition without judgment. You don't need an audience to build fluency. You just need your voice, your thoughts, and your willingness to try. Strategy 2. Start thinking in English. I know you've heard this before, but let's break it down. Thinking in English means reducing the time between idea and expression. It removes the translation step that often slows you down or causes mistakes. Here's how to train that skill. Name objects around you. That's a lamp. That's my backpack. Describe your day in simple sentences. I woke up early. I checked my messages. I feel tired today. Ask yourself questions in English. What should I eat for lunch? And then answer in English too. At first, this might feel clunky, but the more you do it, the more fluent your thoughts become. And fluent thoughts lead to fluent speech. Strategy 3. Record yourself and listen without judgment. We talked about this earlier for pronunciation. Now, use it for confidence. Most learners hate the sound of their own voice at first. That's normal. But here's what happens when you do it regularly. You hear your strengths. Maybe your voice is warm or your tone is friendly. You notice patterns, words you repeat, hesitations you can reduce. You realize, I'm not as bad as I thought. Over time, this becomes empowering. You start to trust your own voice, and that trust becomes confidence. Strategy 4. Speak with others. Even if it's scary, I know. This one is hard, but real confidence only grows through connection. Whether it's a language partner, an online group, or a conversation club, speaking with another human helps you. Adjust to different accents and speeds. Practice active listening, a key part of fluency. Get used to small mistakes and realize the world doesn't end when you make them. If you're nervous, start small. Ask one question, say one sentence, then listen. That's it. One sentence at a time is how fluency grows. Strategy 5. Use the mirror technique. This one is simple but effective. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. Watch how your face moves. Are you making eye contact with yourself? Are you smiling? Do you look confident? Speaking with positive body language makes your voice sound more confident. It's a feedback loop. The more you look confident, the more you feel confident, and the more your English reflects that. Strategy 6. Celebrate your wins. No matter how small, confidence doesn't come from reaching perfection. It comes from acknowledging progress. Did you say a full sentence out loud today? That's a win. Did you understand a movie without subtitles? That's a win. Did you try and fail and try again? That's the biggest win of all. Keep a confidence journal. Every day, write one thing you did in English. At the end of the week, look back. You'll be amazed. Strategy 7. Stop comparing. Start reflecting. It's so easy to see someone else speak English fluently and think, I'll never sound like that. But here's the truth. That person you admire, they struggled too. You're just seeing their chapter 10, and you're on chapter 3. Your only competition is the version of you from yesterday. Measure progress, not perfection. Focus on your growth. Final challenge, a confidence circuit. Here's something you can do starting today. A 5-minute daily routine to build both clarity and confidence. Breathe and smile. 20 seconds. Reset your mindset. Mirror talk. 1 minute. Today, I will speak English clearly and confidently. Shadow a sentence. 1 minute. Copy the rhythm of a native speaker. Speak on a topic. 2 minutes. My favorite childhood memory or the best part of my day. Reflect and write. 1 minute. What felt good? What would you try again tomorrow? Repeat this every day for 7 days. You will notice the change, not just in your speech, but in your self-belief. Wrapping it all up, let's recap what we've covered in this 3-part journey. Part 1. Why clarity and confidence are essential common pronunciation struggles, the emotional and mental challenges learners face. Part 2. Shadowing, recording, and tongue twisters. Slowing down to gain clarity, word stress and rhythm, building mouth movement and pronunciation habits. Part 3. Confidence building routines. Thinking in English and speaking without fear, celebrating small wins and stopping comparison. And here's the most important reminder. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be brave. Every time you open your mouth and try, you are already winning. Final words from me to you. If you've listened this far, I want you to know something. I see your effort. I feel your intention. And I'm cheering for you every step of the way. You can speak English clearly. You can express your thoughts naturally. And you will gain confidence with time, practice, and patience. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one exercise from today, just one. Try it for the next 3 days. Comment below and tell me how it goes. Let's build this community of learners who support each other with kindness and determination. And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe, share it with a friend, and check out other episodes on English in Ease for more podcast-style English learning stories. Until next time, keep speaking, keep smiling, and always remember, you are learning, you are growing, and your voice matters. See you soon. Emily.